Is the BJP on the back foot in the Haryana Assembly elections? Can the Congress win the state after 10 years? And will three factors prove to be a big challenge for the BJP? The farmers' agitation, the restless protest, and the Agniveer issue. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. On the program today, we look at the Haryana Assembly elections. The Congress has not declared a chief ministerial candidate. Yet the party seems to be confident that this time it will be able to take the state back from the BJP after a period of 10 years. Remember, in the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections, the Congress showed its resurgence by taking 5 of the 10 seats. Issues like the restless protests, Vinesh Phogat is now a candidate for the Congress party. Issues like the farmers' agitation and issues like Agniveer are proving to be dominant in this election, where the BJP has in fact tried a new chief minister as its face. In the meantime, there are rumblings in Punjab where the BJP has denied rumors that Sunil Jakhar has quit as the Punjab chief. These developments ahead of Panchayat polls there. To look at what's happening in Haryana, because remember, this is really, in a sense, the first litmus test, as it were, for the BJP, where Chandrasekhar Azad and Dushyant Chautala are in an alliance. This is the first litmus test after the 2024 elections. Jammu and Kashmir is a very different kind of election. Let me welcome our newsmaker to the program today. Sanjay Kumar, leading political analyst with the CSDS, is with us, and his column had a very, very interesting headline. Sanjay ji, आपने कहा पहलवान, किसान और जवान ये तीन मुद्दे हैं जो छाए हुए हैं हरियाणा के चुनाव के मैदान पर. मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, do you believe that the BJP is on the back foot in this election, and what are the implications of that kind of defensiveness if that is indeed the case according to you?
I have no doubt that BJP is on a defensive or BJP is on a back foot. No doubt about that. But I must also state that the situation of BJP has improved over last 2-3 weeks. If elections were held, maybe say, I think 3 or 4 months ago, BJP was in a much worse situation. Congress was in a much better situation. But still, even today, I think still BJP is on a back foot. Congress has an upper hand in the elections as of now. Now, what does back foot means? I think back foot means BJP is facing a lot of challenges, and the three words which you mentioned, which I mentioned in my article, Pehelwan, Kisan, and Jawan. If you look at, these are overlapping categories, and the overlap is all these refers to one caste community, which is the Jatt, which are in sizable numbers in Haryana. So all the three factors, on account of all the three factors, voters from different caste communities seems unhappy with BJP. BJP is in power in the state for the last 10 years. There is a strong anti-incumbency against BJP. All this is going to put BJP in a deep trouble. And if suppose BJP loses the Haryana Assembly election, that will have an impact on how elections will take place or how alliances will take place in Maharashtra and in Jharkhand. That's the implication of what is going to be the verdict of Haryana Assembly election.
So we'll come to the implications of what a BJP defeat might mean for politics in other states. But let's look at Haryana itself. And if we can start bringing up our numbers, we already saw changes take place in the Lok Sabha elections where the Congress was able to take 5 of the 10 seats. And when we look at the assembly elections, the BJP was very strong. But after a decade, the Congress is actually throwing a challenge. What do you think changed in the Lok Sabha election itself? Was it primarily the farmers' agitation, the issue of jobs for young people, and of course the Agniveer issue, because in many of the villages of Haryana you have young men who used to join the military. We've seen reports, some of them in desperation now have even gone and found themselves in the Russia-Ukraine war till the government had to intervene to bring them back home. What has explained the shift from the BJP's domination in the assembly elections to being able to take 5 of the 10 seats in the Lok Sabha elections?
Well, remember, even if you look at the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and the assembly elections held soon after that, even though BJP managed to form a government along with the JJP, BJP could not get a majority of its own in 2019, and BJP's vote share declined drastically between 2019 Lok Sabha election and 2019 assembly election. So the three
Mhm.
factors which I mentioned uh, were present during the Lok Sabha elections also, 2024 Lok Sabha election. There were unhappiness against the BJP government on account of the farmers' agitation, on account of how government handled the wrestlers when they were sitting on a dharna in Delhi, and the anxieties, I would not say dissatisfaction, but a lot of anxieties about the Agniveer scheme. Yes, people feel very happy when they get into this Agniveer scheme, they get into the army, but slowly and gradually, when they spend 2, 3, 4 years in being in army, they start having this anxiety. What happens to them next after they have completed, the term as an Agniveer? So
Mm.
all the factors together created an atmosphere which went against BJP in 2024, and we know the results. Compared to winning 10 seats in 2019, BJP managed to win only half of those 10 seats, and Congress managed to get 5 seats, victory in 5 seats. So the things changed in the last 1 year before the Lok Sabha election. I don't think that things started changing soon after 2019 Lok Sabha election, but
Mm.
if I look at how things change, it was just 7, 8 or 10 months before the Lok Sabha election that these issues started surfacing on the ground, and people started having a lot of dissatisfaction with the ruling BJP government, and sensing that BJP changed their chief ministerial candidate, which was not enough to wean back the voters who have moved away from the BJP.
Yeah. So let's talk about why you think the BJP has not changed its tactics from the Lok Sabha to the assembly elections. If you look at the issue, for example, of Agniveer, in the middle there were rumors that the BJP would be reviewing this because even the allies of the BJP, for example, Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu, Nitish Kumar in particular, Bihar in particular, was pushing for a review of this policy. So far we have not seen that, and this continues. It was extremely unpopular among young people in Uttar Pradesh. Akhilesh Yadav made it an issue in every campaign speech. In Haryana too, we are seeing sort of the repercussions of that, but we are not seeing the BJP really change tactic or shift gear. Why do you think that is?
No, first about the review of the policy. Yes, BJP did not make any effort to review the Agniveer policy, because
Mhm.
if they had decided to review the Agniveer policy, that would have meant, like accepting the blame or accepting the charges by the ruling opposition party that there is a problem in Agniveer issue. If you
Hmm.
say that we are going to review it, so the BJP was not willing to do that, because they keep saying that this is a good scheme. They have never said that this is not a good scheme. So if you start reviewing, it is accepting that there is some fault in the scheme. Uh, so that was one issue. Second, BJP has slightly changed the strategy how they want to contest the election. Uh,
Hmm.
Last 10 years, they wanted to mobilize the non-dominant OBC caste. So they wanted to mobilize the OBCs and leave aside. They didn't want to pitch in for the Jat vote. But if you look at the pattern of ticket distribution in 2024 assembly election, they have given ticket to a very large number of Jat candidates. They have also given tickets to two Muslim candidates in the new area. So the strategy of mobilization has slightly changed. At least BJP is trying to change the strategy of mobilization. They don't want to take any chance. They do want to send out a message to the Jat voters that this is the party which also cares for the Jat. So strategy of mobilization seems to have changed, but the issues which were there on the ground, they did not take initiative to address those issues, because taking an initiative to address those issues would have meant accepting that there was some fault with regard to Agniveer, some fault with regard to the way they handled the Kisan, and some fault with regard to the way they handled the wrestlers issue.
So let's look at the sort of caste model that the BJP is following. As you mentioned, that they felt that the Jat vote was lost to them because of the farmers' agitation. So they approached a kind of non-Jat consolidation, playing the OBC card with the choice of the chief minister, replacing Mr. Khattar all of a sudden, sending him to parliamentary politics. Do you think that has proved to be a mistake, or do you think that's proved to be some sort of containment of losses for them?
No, I don't think that is a mistake on the part of BJP, because continuing Khattar as the chief minister would have brought down BJP's popularity further down. But has BJP been able to overcome or reclaim a lot of lost ground by having Saini as the chief minister. BJP has not been able to do that because even for BJP, I think elections were announced all of a sudden. BJP state government was still making up their mind or preparing for many schemes to be announced, which BJP was not able to do. The ruling party was not able to do. So having Saini as the chief minister has not helped BJP in reclaiming the lost ground to a great extent. But having Khattar or continuing Khattar as the chief minister would have meant bringing BJP stocks further down.
Now, let's look at the fact that this is a campaign being run without an obvious chief ministerial contender, or at least a declared chief ministerial contender on either side. The Congress, it's very interesting what the Congress has done. The Congress has actually repeated 29 of its MLAs, of 31, if I'm not wrong, whereas the BJP has brought in 60 new faces. But the Congress, though Bhupinder Hooda is the most dominant face, because of the tensions with Kumari Selja, has not declared a chief ministerial candidate. With the BJP also, Mr. Saini is not really a kind of, high voltage face, as it were, for the BJP bringing in the numbers. Do you find this unusual that this is a campaign without a declared CM contender? It seems to be following the Punjab model that we saw previously, at least in the Congress strategy.
No, I don't think this is unusual. We had elections in the past in some state. I won't recollect the state as of now, but there are elections when neither of the two contender of power, the two strong parties, declare the chief ministerial candidate. For Congress, it was obvious because making announcement about X or Y as the chief ministerial candidate would have made the other section unhappy, and that would have led to sectional fight within the Congress. Uh, at this moment, yes, there are still factions within the Congress party, but still all the factions are hoping. The leader of all the three factions are hoping that if Congress comes to power, they still have a chance to become the chief minister. So at least, despite having factional, you know, not fight, factional division, but still they are all trying to work hard in their own locality, in their own constituency to pull a victory for the party. BJP, since Saini is still not the very recognized face, people may not recognize him as a very popular chief minister. He is still not seen as a vote puller for the party. So declaring him as the chief ministerial candidate would not have helped the party. So I think BJP wanted to, go into elections without having chief ministerial candidates face. And we should also remember that there are a couple of other contenders for the post, even in the BJP. Uh, so they don't want to, put out somebody. They don't want to project somebody as the chief ministerial candidate to keep the house in order. So I think these are the two compulsions within the BJP and the Congress why they didn't want to project someone as the chief ministerial candidate, essentially to keep the flock together, and essentially, like for the BJP, the difficulty is none of the BJP leader is so popular that they can pull votes for the party. Congress still had a couple of popular faces, but the difficulty was too many popular faces, and it was very difficult for them to project one of them as the chief ministerial candidate.
Let's talk about the Congress for a moment. The Congress has a problem of plenty, but there's no doubt that the most dominant face of the Congress campaign remains Mr. Bhupinder Hooda. There was a rumor even in the middle that Mr. Hooda may form a party, a regional party of his own. That did not happen. Now, because there are other leaders like Kumari Selja, no chief ministerial face has been declared. But can the Congress afford to have any chief minister but somebody from the Hooda family? If the Congress were to win, there are many ifs there, but if the Congress were to win and be able to choose a chief minister on its own terms, can they afford to have anybody else but Mr. Hooda?
It would be very difficult for the party to choose someone else other than Hooda if party manages to, win election, is in a position to form the government on its own. Because we should not forget that if you look at all the candidates who have been nominated by the Congress party, a very large number of them are from the Hooda camp or Hooda loyalists. Remember a situation which arose in Rajasthan a couple of years ago when the central leadership of the party wanted to remove Ashok Gehlot as the chief minister, but they couldn't do that because a very large number of his loyalists wanted him to be the chief minister. So such a situation might come even in Haryana if Congress managed to win election and if Congress ever decides not to have Hooda as the chief minister and think of someone else as the chief minister. Remember what happened to the party in Andhra Pradesh when Congress decided not to have Jagan Mohan Reddy as the chief ministerial candidate, and they went for Kiran Reddy as the chief ministerial candidate or the chief minister. We know what happened to the party and how Jagan Reddy was able to create a party on its own, and he became such a popular leader in the state. Such a situation might happen even in Haryana, but we should also not forget that there are other examples as well. The neighboring state of Punjab. Yes, Amrinder Singh was a very popular chief minister. He formed his own party, but he could not perform the way he thought that he will be able to damage Congress prospect. And finally, he joined the BJP. So there are different examples, but I think Hooda is really a popular face. Hooda has a lot of loyalists in the party who are contesting the
Yeah.
present election. And if Congress decides not to have him as the chief minister, Congress may have a very difficult time.
Let's talk for a moment about what's happening in Punjab as well before we come back to Haryana. We saw today the morning begin with rumors of Sunil Jakhar, who's actually an import from the Congress. He emerged from that whole troubled handling of divisions in the Congress. He became the head of the BJP Punjab unit, and the day started with rumors that he had resigned. The BJP has since contradicted that, but there is turmoil in the BJP Punjab unit. There is a sense that after Mr. Bittu was made cabinet, was given a berth, Sunil Jakhar is unhappy. We don't know exactly what's happening there. So this sort of whole Punjab and Haryana handling ever since the farmers' agitation has been a challenge for the BJP.
Absolutely, whether Sunil Jakhar resigned or not. But what you mentioned, there's a clear signal that all is not well with the BJP in Punjab. Same is the story to a little different extent in Haryana. So yes, BJP is facing challenges in some states, including Haryana and Punjab. Punjab BJP has not been a very dominant party for last many years. They have been having an alliance with Akali Dal. So BJP is trying hard to make inroads in Punjab, but given the turmoil which party is facing in Punjab at the moment, BJP will find it difficult to expand. But the fortunate part for the party is that they don't have to face any election soon, because assembly elections are due only in a like three
Yeah.
years away, and Lok Sabha elections will be 5 years away.
Let's then talk about the impact of what happens in Haryana on other states. You said that there will be some impact in a non-linear way on the other two states that still have to poll. I'm not clubbing Jammu and Kashmir in this election, because in this conversation, because it's a very different set of factors, very different variables. But when you look at Jharkhand and Maharashtra, why do you believe what happens in Haryana will have an impact on Jharkhand and Maharashtra?
More so on Maharashtra, because in Maharashtra we should not forget that BJP is not going to contest elections alone. BJP will be contesting elections in alliance. So if BJP performs badly in Haryana, the alliance partner will put a lot of pressure on BJP, while BJP will try and contest as many seats as possible, give lesser number of seats to the Shiv Sena and the NCP, the factions which are on the side of BJP. But if BJP manages to perform badly in Haryana, badly means losing an election is a bad election for the party which seems to be so powerful only few years ago. So the alliance will put a lot of pressure on BJP. BJP will have to concede a lot of seats to the regional parties, to their alliances, and that's not going to be good for the party's expansion in the long run in Maharashtra. So that's the challenge BJP will face in Maharashtra, in Haryana, in Jharkhand also. If BJP tries to form a alliance with some smaller regional parties will try and dictate terms. When I'm saying dictate terms, it's not that BJP, any regional party is a very strong regional party, but they will try and like ask for a larger number of seats in Jharkhand as well. That is the difficulty BJP will face if BJP doesn't perform well in Haryana.
Let's end with the Modi factor. We have seen in previous assembly elections, the prime minister has been a much more front-facing sort of person on the campaign trail, and we always say about the BJP that the BJP fights even a panchayat election, a municipal election, like their life depends on it. But while the prime minister has hit the campaign trail, it's been a much more muted participation than what we're normally used to. Now, either the Prime Minister has calculated that he doesn't want to be the face of an election that the BJP may have already written off. I don't know. Or there is some other change in strategy here, but we're not seeing as visible a Modi presence for the BJP in this campaign. Why do you think that is?
Let's look at some facts. First, based on the survey estimate, we have figured out that Prime Minister Modi's ability to pull votes for his party, which is BJP, is much higher in the Lok Sabha elections compared to an assembly election. On an average, which has in 2024 election, Prime Minister Modi's ability to pull votes for the BJP has gone down. In 2019, of the 100 votes which BJP got, our survey estimate suggests that 33 was contributed by Modi himself. In 2014, it went down to 25%. But there is another fact which comes out from the same question which we are asking in state assembly election, that Prime Minister Modi's ability to pull votes for his own party in an assembly election is much lower compared to the Lok Sabha election. So it is true that Prime Minister Modi will not be able to pull votes for the party the same way as he was able to pull votes for the party in the 2024 election. Now look at the situation between 2019 and 2024 Lok Sabha election. 2019 BJP was very strong. BJP had won all the 10 seats. Despite that, BJP could not get a majority when the state assembly election were held few months after the 2019 Lok Sabha election. Now 2024, BJP has lost 5 Lok Sabha seats. Congress is in a much better position. So BJP Prime Minister Modi's ability to pull votes for BJP may have even gone down further. There is another fact which I would like to put. We do keep asking this question about popularity of the leader. Rahul Gandhi is seen as a very popular leader in Haryana. If Prime Minister Modi still leads by 2 percentage points in terms of popularity over Rahul Gandhi in Haryana, to cite the data, Narendra Modi is liked by 36% of the voters in Haryana as the Prime Minister, and Rahul Gandhi is liked by 34% of Haryana voters as a possible probable candidate for the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister Modi's popularity and Rahul Gandhi's popularity is not at a very, it is at par, almost at par. So I think given all these facts and the situation on the ground, it is slightly obvious that BJP is not in a good situation in Haryana. And if you think that BJP is going to lose election, or there is a high probability of party losing election, why would you like to expose yourself? I think that may be the reason why Prime Minister Modi is not campaigning as hard as he normally does, whether it is a state assembly election or a Lok Sabha election.
Let's just finally look at that last figure that you just quoted. You said the Prime Minister Modi is liked by 36% voters of Haryana for Prime Minister compared to 34% for Rahul, right? Now that is, as you said, almost at par. The question is going to be invariably asked, if the BJP loses Haryana and it has some sort of domino impact, let's put J&K aside, Jharkhand aside, let's say on Maharashtra, where already even BJP supporters say that there's been a mess and a chaotic situation and a kind of khichdi that has been pakawed. What does it do to brand Modi where the BJP is already below the majority
mark? At the moment, I don't think this defeat will damage the image of brand Modi to a great extent. But yes, it is not going to help Prime Minister Modi uplift the image as a popular leader. There will be more question asked about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ability to pull votes for the party, his popularity ratings. But I don't think that just the defeat in Haryana is going to damage his popularity to a great extent.
Okay, we leave it there. The one thing is for sure, this assembly election coming right after a general election where the BJP slipped below the majority mark has a different kind of significance than perhaps earlier assembly elections. And that is one of the reasons it's being tracked so closely. Sanjay Kumar, always a pleasure, and hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo's Story and support independent, robust journalism.